Former President Thabo Mbeki had something to say over this weekend at the Free State about the state of the ANC. Listen to this.
Banks are too big to fail. What they meant by that was that if these banks, because of their size, if they failed, the whole economy of the United States would collapse. Therefore, too big to fail, so that they need to be rescued. So I said, I can say here that the ANC is too big to fail. Meaning the same thing. If the ANC collapsed today, ceased to exist, this country will become ungovernable.
Let me repeat that. This is something serious here. He says,
cease to exist, this country will become ungovernable. Meaning the same thing. If the ANC collapsed today, ceased to exist, this country will become ungovernable. Simply because of the influence of the ANC. 3 provincial governments are ANC, national government is ANC. Even if you forget about municipalities, if the ANC collapsed and ceased to exist tomorrow, the country would become ungovernable. It's too big to fail. And therefore, that's why I'm saying, comrades, the ANC owes it to the nation, to the country, to sort itself out. Not so that police should become.
Oh my God! You know, the words of former president. People can celebrate and saying he's trying to unite ANC. But if he was someone who's never became a president saying this, then we would say, no, maybe he has a good plan, maybe he means well. But we're talking about someone who was a president, someone who's been there. And unfortunately, they took him out before he could finish it. The same way Ramaphosa came in, taking Jacob Zuma before he could finish his term. Now, the mere fact that this thing of saying the ANC is too big to fail, and if ANC loses its power, South Africa would become ungovernable. This is like saying you can't live without the ANC. It is only about the ANC. I mean, people can't live with reality. People are ignoring the fact that the wind is sweeping all over the continent. The wind of change is sweeping all over the continent. It's taking out the old people with their old mentality, the old parties, the old regime, everything about old. Is taking it out and replacing it with the new. And instead of appreciating what's happening, people still want to hold on to power. You can want to hold on to power, but you can't tell us that if this fails, if we fail, there's no way that this thing will go accordingly. How is it that ANC came into power and then they went through all these years and still we considered them a success because they were better than the apartheid system? I think even the apartheid system was saying, if black people take power, this country will never survive. But here we are today. ANC, former President Thabo Mbeki saying, if ANC loses power, then this country will be ungovernable. But the same way you took out the apartheid government is the same way you should be able to accept that you have been defeated. You should be taken out. It seems like people do not want to live with reality and face the fact that local elections were a sign that what's coming in 2024 is bigger than what we see now. Now, Mr. President, you have been in power, you did everything. Maybe there and there we can actually criticize you, but overall, you were a good president for the ANC and for the country. We have never had, beside Mandela, we have never had someone who comes in and change things like you did, because Mandela had a short term. But now, the fact that you are going to come and say it's too big to fail, It's like you are living under a rock, not wanting to accept the fact that if things change, you could be the second best. And that's what we need as a country. We cannot sit like Zimbabwe. We cannot sit like the ZANU-PF there, where the people vote for this party for a long time and fear to take opposition, fearing the fact that what if they come out with something different? I mean, at this point where we sit, even if the DA takes power, we are going to say at least maybe they can try and come up with new things. But we can't be in an abusive relationship with the same person all over again and fear going out because we don't know what's outside. That is what I get from the fact that he's saying if it fails, then we'll become ungovernable. Now, this statement gives us a new hope of saying that they are shaken. And the new party can take advantage and push more because ANC is a wounded buffalo. The buffalo is wounded. And it looks like if these parties take advantage of the wounded buffalo, something will come up. And I believe DA, EFF, I can't count Action Party yet, it's still small. And these other small parties, they need to increase their votes so that ANC can be below 50%. And then they can cover up and go together into a coalition and be the governing coalition. Because ANC has been too comfortable. Now they are fighting against each other. It's a war amongst themselves. We know that people will want to get power. Many are rallying behind Ramaphosa, which is dangerous at this early stage because the ANC doesn't want to look like they are favoring anyone. They want to look like a solid group, but they are not a solid group. They are looking to lose more power when they continue fighting. And the mere fact that former president is saying this is a scary thing because anything can happen, Mr. President. Also, while he was busy addressing this, the next day he was taking questions from the party members. This is what one had to say about Ace Magashule.
The other thing, as I said, I'm a member of the Veterans League. I've worked with ACE for a very long time. When I arrived home from outside, I was an organizer. We were working with ACE in the organizing department in the then Northern Free State. We used to criticize him that ACE, you must read.
He can't read.
Leaders that don't read are dangerous.
He don't read.
Because when a leader stands on a platform like this should be an opportunity of us opening up our books and learning. But all of you, who you know yourselves, you have passed through ACE, you would not learn anything out of a speech saying Twanki ACE. In fact, whilst we were in the PEC, I remember the other time, Comrade Aesop was even saying ACE should have just taken the, what is this? When the president at the NEC speaks. The presidential what? Yeah, the political overview of the president. We should just take that and present it as it is. Now, what did ACE do? Because if we are to renew, we have to understand where are we at the moment. He sidelined and pushed ANC leaders away because they will tell him where he's wrong. And unfortunately, he did what I can regard as treasonous. He fast-tracked some of you who became leaders, and you jumped some stages of your natural political development. Now we are seated here, majority of the PEC, the IPC, I know because I've been in the province, some of them I did not know. I don't have to know them. I just have to listen when you speak. Then I know you are a...
The wounded buffalo continues to limp. And the other buffaloes are taking it. They are taking each other. Internal affairs should be internal affairs. Unfortunately, when the media is there, it's no longer internal affairs. We know ACE has his own group on the side that is against the leadership of Ramaphosa. Now, by just utterance that he doesn't read, when he sees book, he's like, he runs away. He's like, I can't read. I don't want to read. He can read, but he doesn't want to read. Someone who doesn't want to read, they don't want to get information. They can't receive that information which improves them as a person, as a leader. Now, that is the kind of person that is dangerous. And according to the brother here, the old man here, Ace, doesn't like reading. Now, you have someone who doesn't like reading, and you have another group that has buffaloes. Now you are in trouble. It's money against arrogance. But come the elective conference in December, who wins? Because at the end of the day, one has to be a leader. Maybe the one with buffaloes can buy people and get another term, while the one who can't read will be afraid to read the situation, will be afraid to read the room. But at the end of the day, we are coming to terms with the fact that ANC might lose power, and it's going to take them forever to get it back. It's up to them to see how they get themselves together and win that power back. Because if they don't, it's bye-bye ANC. And with that said, thank you for watching, guys. Until next time. Cheers.